Good day. Welcome to MCS TV. I'm Mr. Fleming from Shelling Elementary. Today we're going to take a look at some map reading skills, and then we'll have a little bit of a writing task at the end of it, just kind of keep our brain in the game. When I'm talking about map skills, for most of you, I'm not going to go into things like the cardinal directions, the intermediate directions, how to read a legend. All of you already know how to do that. Let me tell you what we are going to try to do in this lesson today. The goals for this lesson, or as we say, the objectives, we're going to analyze, we're going to identify different components of different types of maps. And then towards the end, we're going to go ahead and compose better topic sentences using appositives. And I'll tell you exactly what I mean when we get there. But to begin with, let's go ahead and take a look at a few different types of maps. Now, every map that is created for a different reason. Some maps are going to show you certain forms of data, and it's easy if you take a look at the legend to identify what this map was created for. Check this out. This is a population map. And if you take a look at the different colors, it tells you the density, how many people are packed into each region. I know from my legend that the red areas are the most populated. And taking a look at the state of Louisiana, I can see that's true. Here's New Orleans, the most populated city. Even though it's not our capital, that would be Baton Rouge. But look, there are a lot of people living in Baton Rouge as well. But population maps aren't just designed to tell us how many people live in a place. There are other things that we may want to know about the people who are actually living there. Check it out. Here are a few things that population maps can actually show us. They can show us differences in ethnicity. They can show us the difference in genders of the population who lives there. How many men, how many women, how many children, the different ages. We can even discover the religious makeup of the people who are living in a particular area. And if you're a mayor of a city, if you're the governor of a state, you'll want to know all of these different types of information. Socioeconomic is just, that's a fancy way of saying, okay, so the people who are living in this area, are they rich? Are they poor? Why are they rich? Why are they poor? What do they do there in that particular area? These types of maps are revised every 10 years. I don't know if you can see it. This information is from the 2010 census. Well, here it is. It's 2020. And this year, right now, we're doing another census, not only in the state of Louisiana, but across the entire country. This is how we gather this information. Then it takes a little while. They put it together, and this is how we come up with things like population maps. All right, this is a population map. Now check this out. This next map also is dealing with populations, but notice it has a different title. This is a demographic map. It's still dealing with people, but now it's going to give us different information about those people. This particular map, I use New Orleans since we're sticking with Louisiana. The city of New Orleans is very diverse. You have a lot of different people who live in the city of New Orleans. This tells me where these people move within a certain amount of time. I'm not sure, depending on what device you're watching this with. Each of these colors tells me how many people have moved into an area or how many people have moved out within a certain amount of time. Why would I need to know this information? Well, once again, if you're the mayor of the city of New Orleans, you want to know, what is it the people who live in your city, what is it that they do? Where do they work? How do they make their money? Where do they go to spend their money? This is dealing with the economic status of the people who are living in this particular city. Also, as a mayor, somebody elected me, well, chances are I'm either going to belong to one political party or another. I need to know the people who live in my city. How do they vote? Which political parties do they belong to? And then finally, really important, the industries. Here in North Louisiana, we have universities, we have hospitals, we have some wonderfully large companies. In New Orleans, it's 100 times more. They have all kinds of industries. They have ships going up and down the Mississippi, delivering goods, taking things away. They have tourism. All the different types of industry are shown in this map, and it's indicated by color as well. Again, it had to do with people, but this isn't a population map. This is a demographic map. Let's move on to our next one. This is a geographic map. And at first it looks like a whole bunch of mess, but wait a second. This is important information. This isn't showing us necessarily how many people live where and what they do. But it does show us a lot of really important stuff. It shows us every single major highway. It shows us all the interstates. Guess what? It also shows us the major rivers. You would be amazed at how much stuff goes up and down the rivers of Louisiana. They put on these huge barges, and they move things all the way from the south to the north, all the way from the north to the south. We're talking millions and millions of dollars a year of things that are going to be bought and sold, traveling up and down the rivers of Louisiana. It's all here on this map. And I can tell that the reddish areas are my major population centers. Now, there's New Orleans, the most populated city. Again, we know Baton Rouge is the capital city of Louisiana. Up in the northwest here, Shreveport. Now, I don't know how many people live in each of these red areas. This map doesn't tell me that, but it does tell me that these are the major population centers. That's why the different color. Infrastructure is anything that your society builds. We're talking roads, we're talking buildings, we're talking anything that's needed to make your community, to make your civilization successful. This map shows us all of that. The highways, the waterways, the population centers. Again, it has to do with the people living in the state of Louisiana. This really doesn't tell me very much about those people. Instead, it tells me more about what those people have already succeeded and done. All right, very good. I just threw this map in for the fun of it. This is a different type of map completely. This does not necessarily have to do with people so much as it has to do with the actual ground that we're all standing and walking around on. This is called a geologic map. There are different reasons why you would need a geologic map. Oil companies, gas companies, companies that are looking for minerals. All of these things are shown here on the map. And again, I don't know if you can see, but all across the north part of Louisiana, I see these tiny little black dots. Every single one of those black dots represents either an oil drill or somebody drilling in the ground looking for natural gas. And this is just from one company. There are literally over 100 companies in Louisiana that are constantly drilling into the ground. And before they put that drill down in that ground, it's expensive. They better know what kind of minerals they're going to go ahead and cut through. They need to know what kind of rock they're going to be drilling through to see if there's even a chance, to see if it's worth their while to do. Geologic map, again, showing us all kinds of valuable information, important information. And it's just another example, different types of maps giving us different types of data that we need to use. All right, ready? Now that we've taken a look at maps, let's go ahead and go to our writing assignment real fast. Today, I'm going to be going ahead and talking about positives. In one of my earlier lessons, I did conjunctions, and these are simply things that you can use to go ahead and improve your writing skills, to make your writing richer, to make it fuller. So, exactly what is an appositive? I kept the definition as short and sweet, simple as I could. An appositive is a phrase or a clause that is placed beside a noun to explain it more fully, to add to it, to give your reader, whoever it is that's reading your sentences, to give them a better understanding of what it is you're talking about, what you're trying to get across. Here's an example. I was just looking at New Orleans, and so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to give a little stem sentence. This is a simple sentence, and then we're going to go ahead and we're going to throw in a positive at it. Here, I'll show you what I mean. My example sentence is, New Orleans is known for its rich culture and outstanding musicians. And look, I put an exclamation mark at the end of it on purpose, because that's no joke. New Orleans, famous around the world for their outstanding musicians and its rich culture. Okay, let's add something to this, though, to make it a better sounding sentence, a more informative sentence. Here we go. Ready? The orangish letters, those are the words of the appositive. Check this out. Now I'm saying New Orleans, the most populated city in Louisiana, is known for its rich culture and outstanding musicians. Look at that. Just with one tiny little phrase that I've inserted into the middle of my simple sentence, suddenly now it sounds so much better. There's so much more information that's being given to the reader. The sentence itself was fine the way it was. New Orleans is known for its rich culture and outstanding musicians. There's nothing wrong with that sentence. But now all of a sudden, by putting in that one simple phrase, I sound like I'm so much smarter about Louisiana. New Orleans, the most populated city in Louisiana, is known for its rich culture and outstanding musicians. Suddenly, I'm giving more to the reader. My sentence blossoms. All right, ready? Go ahead and try one at home. We're talking of positives. I'm going to use Baton Rouge since we're using our Louisiana map. We just said that New Orleans was the most populated city in Louisiana. We said that, Baton Rouge, we said it's not as populated, but it was the capital city of Louisiana. So here, check this out. Baton Rouge is where our governor, senators, and representatives meet to pass bills and laws. That's a pretty simple sentence. But we just found out that also Baton Rouge was the capital city of Louisiana. What if we just add that right there where that blank is? All of a sudden, our sentence is going to blossom. It's going to become richer. It's going to become fuller. Here we go. The orange letters, once again, this is the appositive that I'm using. I just put in the capital city of Louisiana. But something I didn't mention earlier, your appositive does not have to come after your noun. In fact, you can put it in just about anywhere in the sentence if you do it correctly. Here I've taken it and I put it behind the noun, just like in the first example with New Orleans. But here I'm using the same thing and I'm simply putting it in front of the noun. Both work, both are correct. The capital city of Louisiana, Baton Rouge, is where our governors, senators, and representatives meet to pass bills and make laws. Or Baton Rouge, the capital city of Louisiana, is where you get the picture. Either way it works. Both of these are correct. And honestly, I think both of these sound a lot better than that first simple version of the sentence that we did. All right, so we just took a look at some map reading skills, not, again, the reading of the legend or the cardinal directions or any of the simple stuff. We took a look and we analyzed at some different types of maps. Now, we've also done a quick little exercise about appositives that hopefully will help enhance your writing skills, hopefully make them better. And that's it for appositives and map reading skills. Again, I'm Mr. Fleming from Shell Elementary. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time on MCS TV.